Good morning, world.
Good morning out there, everyone. Today, me and Brian are going to talk about our top 10 movies.
We're gonna go all the way to 11.
11?
Why 11?
These go to 11.
I don't get it.
Why go to 10 when you can go to 11?
I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. Let's go to the movies. All right, so the real reason that we're going to do 11 is because when we were putting our list together, we discovered that one of our movies was the same. But you're not going to find that out till the end.
So stay tuned. And you guys, if you like our we want to hear what your movies are, what your top 10 movies are. But before you do that, if you like our channel, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share it with all your friends on social media.
All right, Cedric, so while we were putting this thing together, I had a hard time trying to figure out what my top 5, top 6 movies were. How did you come up with your list?
It was kind of weird for me too, because I'm thinking now as I've gotten older, movies have to do like one of two things for me. They either have to make me laugh or make me think and kind of cry a little bit. I'm kind of getting old now. I'm kind of past the whole shoot 'em up, bang bang, cars exploding thing.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I did kind of. I've only bought a few movies in my life. You know, you watch them and then you come home and back in the days when people bought movies.
Right.
So some of them are the ones that I actually liked enough to go out and buy. Some of them left a lasting impression on me or
Right.
emotional. And one of them that you'll see, one of my first ones is just when I see it come on TV, I'll watch it. The first one I did, I probably watched 10 times, but it comes on, I'll sit down and watch
No matter where it is in the movie.
Yeah, so I had to put that in my top 5.
Right. First movie, it's a classic, and it's this one right here that we're going to show you right now.
Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a handsome prince. And engaged by royal decree.
Why? Why can't I find my own wife?
We've gone to a great deal of trouble to select for you a very fine wife.
I want a woman that's going to arouse my intellect as well as my loins.
Where will you find such a woman?
In America.
I want to tear you apart. And your friend, too.
Coming to America.
Pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived.
Oh, come on, man. What about Joe Louis?
The Brown Bomber. Now that was a great boxer.
You damn right.
I suppose nobody in here ever heard of Cassius Clay.
We got a point. Cassius Clay was a bad motherfucker.
I think one of the main reasons I love about Coming to America, it took me back to my childhood, because every 2 weeks, like clockwork, my dad and I would go to the barbershop. So the barbershop scene just really resonated with me because, and I tell people the last bit of Americana left in this world is the black barbershop. It's lively. You talk about politics, religion, music, sports, and everything, and it's lively and it's incredible. Enough about me. Brian, what's your first one?
So this movie is a classic, and this is what I talked about earlier. It's one of those movies, in fact, it was just on a couple weeks ago on TV, and I had to sit down and I just watched it again, probably for the 10th time. But see if you enjoy these clips.
What is so dangerous about a character like Ferris Bueller is he gives good kids bad ideas.
Well, why should he get to skip school when everybody else has to go?
Syphilitic meningitis?
He never gets caught.
He's very popular, Ed.
I recall Central Park in fall.
They think he's a righteous dude.
He does whatever he wants,
You know, as long as I've known him, everything works for him.
whenever he wants.
He's very cool.
And he never gets nailed.
Ferris can do anything.
Oh, he's such a sweetie.
Bueller.
Bueller?
Bueller.
Anyone?
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
So what is about this movie, Brian, that you like so much?
I don't know. I think part of it is just the time when it came out. I mean, it's when we were a lot younger. It's a coming-of-age movie, so when I first saw it, you know, I was just a couple years older than the characters were in the movie. To me, I think it was John Hughes. Was he the one who did all these movies?
Yes.
Yeah, and there was a bunch of his movies that just resonated, I think, with kids, you know, late teens, early 20s. I don't know. It was just one of those movies that after I saw it, too, when I went to Chicago, I just wanted to go do all the things that Ferris Bueller did on his day off. One of those things, it was funny, and it just, again, I guess just because it was a coming-of-age story.
Right, okay. And this is one of my all-time favorites, starring Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, and the late Bernie Mac.
Institution, where you lose your freedom, where you do hard time. There is no escaping from here. There is no recreation here. There is no fun here. But all of that is about to change.
Life! Hey, girl. You gonna eat your cornbread?
Oh, Trevor. Oh, now this is one of my favorite scenes.
Don't say nothing.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I think he's talking to you.
Hey, no, I ain't gonna. Don't pass your cornbread to him, for that's your cornbread.
Ray, I'm a grown man, okay? I'm not gonna eat this cornbread. If he wants the cornbread, damn it. Have the cornbread.
Now, if he wants some cornbread, let him go up to the front and get his own portion of cornbread. That's your cornbread. Fuck him. Hey, man, he gonna eat his cornbread, all right? You let him have your cornbread. You gonna be ironing his drawers and clipping his toenails. I know niggas iron.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Life.
All right, Cedric, so I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm seeing 2 movies with Eddie Murphy.
Right, right. I like this movie because I think most people like buddy movies. Mm-hmm. And it's like the first, and these 2 characters don't like each other in the beginning, but they're stuck together because they're falsely accused of a crime. But they forge a friendship later on. Yeah. Kind of like me and you.
Yeah.
Just that hatred in the beginning.
I didn't know you hated me.
I hate you. And then the forge a friendship of doing life together. I just like it because it's like you have 2 people from 2 totally different backgrounds, and they form a friendship. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, so piggyback on your buddy movie, I'm gonna do my next movie is gonna be a buddy movie, and it's this one right here. Check this out.
Gun! Oh!
Raj, meet your new partner.
New partner? Too old for this. Suppose we better register you as a lethal weapon. You ever met anybody you didn't kill?
Well, I haven't killed you yet.
Let me tell you, can I give you 2 guys a friendly piece of advice, okay? Don't ever go up to the drive-thru, okay? Always walk up to the counter. You know why? Okay, I'm gonna say it. Okay. They fuck you at the drive-thru, okay? They fuck you at the drive-thru. They know you're gonna be miles away before you find out you got fucked, okay? They know you're not gonna turn around and go back. So they don't care who gets fucked. Oh, Leo gets. Okay, sure. I don't give a fuck. I'm not eating this tuna, okay?
Shut up!
So, did you like those Lethal Weapon movies too?
I did. I mean, the thing about good movies, they keep making them over and over again because they sell.
Yeah, and I kind of combine in those scenes you can see, I combine more than one. So it's the Lethal Weapon series. So at least the first 3 I watched. I'm not sure how many I went out. But the second one, I think I might even have liked as much as the first with Joe Pesci.
Do you think subconsciously you like it because it's about, a black guy and a white guy who forge a friendship out of nowhere and they become best buds?
Could be. But this one, I think this was like the second movie I ever saw Mel Gibson in. I think the first was like Mad Max or something.
Right.
This one, yeah, it was the buddy movie. It did have the shoot 'em up, and it had, funny scenes. And then as you saw, like some of those, deep scenes where he's contemplating suicide. But overall, it was just a good, fun movie.
Right.
The next one you picked really brings you back to your childhood, I guess, because you picked an animated movie.
I did. Who doesn't love a good Disney movie? And my next movie, well, let's watch this.
We are all connected in the great circle of life. The Lion King.
Hey,
Hey, kid, what's eating you?
I don't want to talk about it.
He looks blue. I'd say brownish gold. No. I mean, he's depressed. Anything we can do?
Not unless you can change the past.
He grew up hoping to leave his old life behind.
I know who you are. You're Mufasa's boy.
You're the king.
King? Have you got your lions crossed?
Father?
You are my son, and the one true king.
You see, he lives in you.
Now, I know for a fact that some of you are going like, "Aww, who doesn't love Lion King?" And it talks about, and for me, I think my daughters were 2 years old, and it talks about leaving a legacy. Maybe I'm getting too deep with this, but leaving a legacy as Mufasa passes on his lineage down to Simba, and how Simba has to grow into who he is in order to lead and to lead the tribe. It's not a tribe. It's a lions, a pride. The Pride Rock.
Yes.
As he's teaching Simba how to lead a pride of lions, and it's just I think it really hit me as a father-son type movie, and as a father passes down his knowledge and his wisdom down to his son to lead.
I just noticed something. There's some crossover because James Earl Jones was in.
James Earl Jones was the father. He was the voice of Mufasa in Lion King, and he also played Akeem, Eddie Murphy's dad, in Coming to America.
And then Matthew Broderick was Ferris Bueller, and he was also the star of your movie.
Exactly. There's good stuff. Okay, now your next movie, and I feel a little embarrassed because we were talking about it earlier. I don't even know what this is, but what's your next movie?
Yeah, this one's a little, I don't think it makes a lot of people's top 10 lists or top 20, top 100, I don't know, but this is another one where I liked it so much I actually went out and bought it. And it was called, well, watch these scenes first.
He ain't our daddy.
I am the only daddy you got. I am the damn paterfamilias. Ain't Mary, my wife.
And stay out of the Woolworth.
To get back to his wife and kids, Ulysses Everett McGill will do anything.
Say, any boy, Smithies.
But he's about to get off on the wrong track.
Who elected you leader of this outfit? Well, Pete, I figured it should be the one with the capacity for abstract thought. I'm Jordan Rivers, and these here are the Soggy Bottom Boys out of Cottonelia, Mississippi. We hear that you pay good money to sing into a can. Ain't you gonna introduce us, Pete?
I've seen him first.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Big Dan, toot coat.
I'm bona fide.
Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you never see no more.
You ever been with a woman?
I gotta get the family farm back before I can start thinking about that.
He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
So Cedric, you really never saw this movie?
I don't recall this movie.
So this is kind of loosely based on the Iliad or the Odyssey or both. I don't know. It's funny, but I liked the music in it. Mm-hmm. I liked the comedy, the way George Clooney played the character.
Right.
It was this off the wall. I think it was a Coen Brothers or one of the brothers movies, and it's just, oh my God. Oh, you know what? Whoever did Fargo. I think it's the same people who did Fargo.
Okay.
It was a traveling movie. It was basically these guys who escaped jail. They escaped out of jail. It almost took place at the same time period that your Life movie.
Life? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was all around that time. But it was just a clever way to tell this story, and it had sirens in it, just from the Iliad and the Odyssey, and I don't know. It struck me, if you haven't seen it and you don't think it'd be something you like. My wife didn't think she would like it, and it's one of her favorite movies now too. And if you like music, it's just got great music in it.
Well, you're a big music aficionado, so I can see why that appeals to you.
And it's just a funny, off the wall, off the beaten path movie.
Okay.
So
all right.
Anyway,
awesome.
Check that one out. This next movie, in fact, the next couple movies, Cedric, when I saw his list, these are probably up there in at least my top 10 also. So what's your next one?
Well, I love this movie because, again, very similar to Coming to America and to Life. I like buddy movies. Well, let's take a look at this scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all the evidence. I submit that this was not a hot-blooded crime of passion. Consider this. A revolver holds 6 bullets, not 8. That means that he fired the gun empty and then stopped to reload.
By the power vested in me by the state of Maine, I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back.
Send you here for life? That's exactly what they take. Why'd you do it?
I didn't, since you asked. There's something inside they can't touch.
What are you talking about?
Hope.
Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing.
So Cedric, I noticed something else. You talked about me with Lethal Weapon. It's 2 main characters, one's black and one's white. So were we destined?
It was just destined to be. It's destined to be. That's why we're doing this YouTube channel now. It's destined to be. You can make it work, people. I love this movie. Tim Robbins' character, Andy Dufresne, is falsely accused of a crime he didn't commit. He goes to prison, befriends Morgan Freeman's character. They forge this friendship. And I love, nothing but a good movie captivates you when someone is striving toward a goal. And Tim Robbins' character is striving toward this goal to gain his freedom. And my best scene, and I hope Brian showed this, is when he escapes from the prison and he has his arms raised in the air and the rain is falling down and he could care less that he just went through 300 yards of a sewer. He is finally free.
Yeah.
And that just, it's just a cool movie. A goal attained.
Yeah. So my next movie was, and it might have just been what I was going through in my life at the time, so it just hit me. And I know Cedric, when he heard it, he wanted to take my man card, but let's watch it right here.
Titanic was called the ship of dreams, and it was. It really was.
All right, open your eyes.
We go full ahead! Put your backs into it!
When the ship docks, I'm getting off with you. God Almighty. I'll never let go.
Great movie. I mean, I think a lot of guys say, like, oh, my, you like that movie? I have to be honest. I like the movie. It was good.
It was a well-made movie. I like historical fiction stuff anyways. I read a lot of historical fiction, so I like things that have that air of truth to it. Right. I know Hollywood takes their liberties, but it had everything. It had romance, it had adventure.
And like all these movies, I think just a great story. And a director tells a great story.
Yeah.
All right. And again, I don't know if me and Brian articulated this, but these movies are in no particular order. I mean, the number 1 could be number 5, number 5 could be number 1. But let's take a look at my last one here.
The general became a slave. The slave who became a gladiator. The gladiator who defied an emperor.
The frost. Sometimes it makes the blade stick.
You find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face. Do not be troubled, for you are in Elysium, and you're already dead.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife. And I will have my vengeance, this life or the next. I knew a man who once said death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back.
Smile for me now.
Are you not entertained?
I think a lot of my movies have a similar theme to them, and it's when the main character is in search of a goal, and when that goal is finally obtained, you can't just help but feel good about it. In this movie, Gladiator, it's about country, and it's about faith, and it's about fighting for what's right and doing what's right. And here is a man who has had everything taken away from him, and he has to fight, literally fight, to get it all back. And he comes up to a lot of obstacles, and I think that's true about life. You love to see when someone comes across obstacles, and they face them, overcome them.
I see it. That's a theme in all of yours.
Yeah.
Even your animated one, it's overcoming obstacles.
Yeah, Simba, he was, oh my goodness, he almost got eaten by those hyenas.
That's a epic movie. It's almost as epic as our number one movie that we both picked.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. All right, Brian, let's wrap this up, my friend. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. What's the last one on your list?
So again, it's historical fiction.
Okay.
The characters in this. So I just love, kind of like with Old Brother Where Art Thou, I love character-driven films. I love great stories too, like you were talking about. But this movie, I fell in love with the characters. So watch this right here.
Who is he?
That's Wyatt Earp. Better name for himself as a peace officer.
I heard of you.
I'm retired.
You must be Doc Holliday. You retired too?
Not me. I'm in my prime.
The only real law around here is the cowboys.
If we're gonna have a future in this town, it's gotta have some law and order. What do you want, Ringo?
I want your blood. I want your soul. I want them both right now.
None of your problem, Doc. You don't have to mix up in this.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me. The last charge of Wyatt Earp and his immortals.
Oh, my God.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me!
Well. I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
That's a great movie, Brian, but why does it appeal to you?
One of the reasons is because of the characters. Character-driven movie. The scene that you saw when Val Kilmer says, "I'm your huckleberry." Mm-hmm. That's just classic. I think it's his best movie. I think he stole the movie over Kurt Russell, who was also great. But just all the characters in that movie were fantastic. It's a neat story. It's the Wild West coming through, with the back in the days of the real cowboys,
right?
Not the Dallas Cowboys,
right? Are they even cowboys? I don't want to get into that.
But I don't know. It's just something that just sat with me. It's always stuck with me. If somebody asks my favorite 5 movies, that one always comes to mind real quick. All right, you ready to reveal our number one that we both picked?
Let's do it.
So we'll give you a hint. The actor was in one of mine already.
Yes.
Yes, and it's epic, kind of like Gladiator. Watch it here.
I came back home to raise crops and, God willing, a family.
So you want me to marry you then?
Well, that's a bit sudden, but all right.
Is that what you call a proposal?
I love you. Always have. I want to marry you. You say you want to stay out of the troubles? If I can live in peace, I will.
Edward Longshanks is the most ruthless king ever to sit on the throne of England.
Scotland. My land.
I want a home and children. It's all for nothing if you don't have freedom.
Go back to England and tell them there that Scotland's daughters and her sons are yours no more.
The rebellion has begun.
Under who?
William Wallace.
Come to fight and to die for you.
Stand up, man. I'm not Napoleon. Longshanks desires peace.
He declares it to me, I swear it.
You tell your king, William Wallace will not be ruled, nor will any Scot while I live.
Where are you going?
I'm going to pick a fight.
Well, we didn't get dressed up for nothing.
We can't beat an army. We can! And we will! Would you be willing, for one chance, just one chance, to tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
maybe 2.5, 3 hours long. But for me, it goes by like that because once again, like I said earlier, it's just one of those movies where a man is in pursuit of something. A man who starts, it's kind of like those Horatio Alger stories from Rags to Riches. This man starts out with nothing, and he has to get together a group of men who want to fight for their country, for what's right, for what they believe in. And I just, those movies just appeal to me.
Yeah, and they're basically fighting for their freedom because they are living in an oppressed society that was ruled back in those days by the kings and so it follows his movies where they were just epic movies. It also follows my line of movies that were all historical fiction again.
Right.
Or actually not. Yeah. I don't know how much of it's fiction, in fact. I mean,
right.
you go and you read all the blogs. Oh, it never happened like that. But it's still, if you just call it historical fiction,
right.
then that's all you need to know. But it's just an epic. And I remember I bought this movie too.
I did too.
It might have been VHS.
Well, I know it was.
And I played it, though. I had a new stereo system now. This is before you just had little speakers.
Right.
And I cranked that up, and we lived in an apartment, and I think the neighbors upstairs came down and said, you're being too loud because there's a horse fighting scene in there.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, it's epic.
Yes.
Epic movie.
Yes.
So I can see how we both picked it. We both put our list together, and that one popped up on both. Yeah. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our top 11 movies.
Yes. Movies, they provide a form of escapism. They provide some inspiration. In the comments section, tell us what your favorite movies are, whether they're animated, comedy, adventure, dark comedy. We want to hear what your favorite movies are and why.
Yeah. So we had a good time doing this episode because I got to go and kind of rewatch all the trailers for these movies and makes me want to go out and watch some of them right now.
Right.
Until next time.
I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. See ya. Hey, Cedric, let's go to the movies now.
Let's go. I got nothing else to do.
Just sit back and watch.